name is Jenna. I live on the edge of beauty and chaos. That is the artwork of my life. And really, it's the nature of things. Where abundance grows in my Eden, and the weeds are just my faithful teachers. I have come to truly love spinning around in this web of life we're all twirling on, day by day, living fully in the moments. Late September means I wean myself off of hot sunny days and accept what has grown and reap what I've sown. As summer slowly drifts away and the celebration of fall and the harvest trickles in, I am reminded once again of letting go and hanging in the liminal field of the unknown. But my real journey started 7 years ago while I was living my old life. I started calling in true love, abundance, and working hard on myself. And all of a sudden, my life completely changed. Over the course of 3 months, I left an 8-year relationship and a life up north of where I'm from. My sister's house was destroyed by a fire, which led her and her family back home to the big house on our 40-acre tree farm where we grew up and learned the importance of very hard work. We all spent 1 month together under the same roof before our father unexpectedly passed away on December 1st, 2017. We lost our jobs as we all still worked on the farm. We lost our life and our trajectory. Everything fell apart. But what we didn't know and couldn't see yet was everything was just falling back together. Which brings me to my first story. The Honeycrisps are the new tomatoes, and I'm getting ready to say goodbye to my kitchen garden. Hi guys, so today I'm focusing on getting the rest of the tomatoes I have sitting in here from like up to 3 weeks ago made into salsa. And I also think I'm gonna make some bruschetta, so that'll be nice to have for dinner. I like to grill some chicken that I just marinate in some, garlic, onion powder, olive oil, cumin, oregano. I like to grill it, and then I like to top it with a little layer of extra sharp white cheddar, and then top that with the fresh salsa or the bruschetta if you do more Italian seasonings on your chicken first. That's super delicious. So that's what's gonna be for dinner. And so I'm gonna get these tomatoes cut up and put into my mason jars because I like the salsa to kind of like sit around in the fridge for at least like half the day to like a day or two before I use it, because all the fresh garlic and stuff gets to like seep into the tomatoes and it's just extra amazing. I also, my white sage bundles are dry, so that's super exciting. I grew one plant this year. It is hardy now in my area now that the zones have changed. I'm now 6B, sometimes A, and 7A. So that means that white sage will overwinter potentially because it's hardy to zone 7. So that's really exciting to make my own sage bundles. I haven't used sage in a long time because I'm kind of like conscious of like how it's harvested and how the habitat that it grows in is kind of ravaged, and the plants are cut back completely and they're just not taken care of in a healthy way, in an honoring type of way for them. They're kind of just like decimated, so I don't want to participate in that. So I haven't used sage in a number of years, but now that I can grow my own plant, I have the perfect spot. It's sort of desert plant, so it grows, you know, where it's hot, probably more sandy soil, or rocky, and where it gets a lot of sun. So I have a southwestern side that gets pummeled by the sun. The house is white, so the siding, like, it just reflects all the sun back onto it, and like between the siding and the soil is the concrete, so like it seriously gets like a lot of desert like like waves coming at it, whatever that word is, I don't know. So it is loving it there, and I cut it back not even halfway. So the typically the rule of thumb for harvesting a plant is you don't cut it back more than, when I worked at a garden center that my parents owned and we had a tree nursery and stuff, so I grew up there, whenever we would tell people how to prune something or cut it back, you could do half, but you should stay to like a third, you know, for the health of the plant. So you could do half if it's not so like hot and dry, and like, you know, if the plant's taken care of, it'll probably bounce back. But like the same rule of thumb goes for harvesting like herbs and stuff. So you don't want to cut it all the way down, or else sometimes the plants just won't come back. Like a basil plant or something, it just, you know, it may not even come back at all because the bottom of it gets pretty woody. So all of your little adventitious buds on the side are kind of gone at that point. So all the mature tissue isn't viable, you know, to sprout again. It's lost its like vitality as much as like the younger stuff on the ends of the plant. So anyway, these are the sizes that I got. Like, that's pretty awesome, right? I'm really happy with it. That's the medium size, and this is the small, and this is like 3 little branches. And then I also dried some loose leaf too. So this you can kind of just break off and then put on your charcoal and burn it that way in your shell. Or if you have like I have this little cauldron that you can put a little disc, like a charcoal disc in for incense. So yeah, so that's exciting. My tomatoes are amazing. So pretty. That one, I think these are all ones called Walter Melon, which I got at this one place more towards where I grew up, and they grow all sorts of heirloom tomatoes. So I found Walter Melon this year and I love him. I'm just gonna say it's a he because I've been calling him a he. So I don't know, he seems to like it, so that's what we're going with. And then my other favorites have been mortgage lifter. However, that one was like super late in producing. I don't know. Also, black trifle was really, really nice. And then I got a San Marzano too from this place. The tomatoes were like super little this year, but the sauce is so amazing. I just cut them in half, roll them around in some olive oil and like a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and then I put them skin side up on a baking tray, and then I roast them at like 400 for however long it takes to where the skins look a little golden on the top. And then you pull them out of the oven, you let them kind of cool a little bit, and then put them in your food processor. And I put a clove or two of my homegrown, I planted early Italian variety of garlic last year in October, and then I harvest them this it was like June, but they're amazing in the sauce. So I put a clove or two of them in with the tomatoes, whiz it up, put them in freezer, either quart freezer containers or freezer Ziplocs, and then like get all the air out, push it down, and lay them flat. I found that I can store a lot more in my freezer that way if I do it flat like that. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do today, and tonight we're gonna have an amazing meal, so I'm excited. Happy September. We're like halfway through. Well, no, actually we're over halfway. It's the 18th. We just had the eclipse yesterday. Feeling a little tired. Nothing crazy happened, really. I started this YouTube channel because, you know, it was kind of like, well, out with the old, in with the new. I need the new energy. It's working out great for me. So here we go. Onward and upward. I put my salsa in the fridge to develop its delicious flavor and went outside to plant a few ferns, hostas, and joe pye weed I had in my plant waiting room for a few months now. I love the way my garden and porch turned out this first year living here with my boyfriend. I told him to expect to lose a little grass around the property every year. He happily turned the land over to me, which makes me super excited for planting seasons to come. We live on a busy road, and neighbors have already stopped by to tell us how great the plants look out front. Reflecting on it myself, I am extremely proud of the work I put into it in just one spring. This little town between towns is dotted with old barns and American flags nestled around our beloved general store. It feels wonderful to contribute to the beauty of rural, small-town America. I cherish being able to create a warm, inviting home for our family and friends. In the coming days, I enjoyed the last of summer, visiting my beloved sunflower field. I also harvested more from the garden and spent time creating healthy, homemade food in the kitchen. Okay, so I just got done harvesting the leeks from the garden. They did awesome. and I'm super excited about them. I decided to make a leek confit to preserve them. So basically I'm going to cut them up in rounds and then soak them in water to get the dirt out of because you got to be really careful with the leek because they get really dirty in between all those little rings, because as they grow up and the soil gets stuck in there. So and the soaking of the leeks will help to hydrate them so they don't burn in the oven. So we're gonna roast them at 350 for 45 minutes, and you just use olive oil, salt, pepper. I also added thyme. It's actually lemon thyme from the garden. So you roast them down for a while, and if you see them kind of burning, either add a little bit more water or a little bit more oil. So we're gonna pull them out of the oven, and then I'm gonna put them in freezer bags and freeze them for the winter for soup making. You can use it as a topping for toast. You can mix it with cream cheese. I make this really good chicken that has spinach and artichoke on top. You can add it to that probably. Like I said, soup I think is probably going to be my go-to, or add it to mashed potatoes. That'd be really good too. So yeah, I think it's going to be very versatile and delicious, and I'm going to grow more leeks next year, so I'm pretty excited. So here we go. My leek confit turned out to be basically just roasted leeks because I wanted to get out and enjoy more of the sunshine and sunflowers. So I packed them in the freezer and hopped into my car, riding slowly down an old back road
listening to the birds and counting my many blessings.